Welcome, everyone, to this WHAS 11 Plus special presentation as we take a look back at the life of Muhammad Ali and some interesting anniversaries we need to tell you about this time of year right now as we are talking February and March. Hi, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt, along with our Chief Archivist, Joe Federle.
Hi.
Joe, this is quite the unique special that you found that everybody's getting ready to see. It probably was last seen on the air after it aired in what year?
1971, March 6th. It was 2 days before he fought Joe Frazier in the fight of the century at Madison Square Garden. This is the original ad that we put in the Courier-Journal the day that it aired.
So there you go. If you want to look at the ad, it says 8:30 tonight. Muhammad Ali, A Day with Clay, sports special, WHAS TV 11.
It was right after an episode of Mission Impossible.
I thought it was interesting because they're still using his
That's right.
his birth name, and in March of 1964, Cassius Clay, then Muhammad Ali, that's when he changed his name to Muhammad Ali after he had just defeated Sonny Liston after a fight with Sonny Liston. So that was 1964 when he became Muhammad Ali in March of that year. And here we come along with this special 1971.
I think it's interesting how they utilized both names. It was A Day with Clay because it's a good rhyme, and of course, the main title, Muhammad Ali. Now, what's really good about this is you see Cawood Ledford. People love Cawood Ledford, and this is the best special to watch him on because you can see him. He kind of has a back and forth with Muhammad. Sometimes I think he has a crack on Cawood's suit.
Cawood was considered the best dressed man on television, and they used to say in radio too. You know, you couldn't see him. So he worked in this building for a while, but Cawood was the original radio and TV sports director at WHAS TV, legendary, later became the voice of the Kentucky Wildcats when he retired. So we'll talk more about him and his connection with Ali in just a second. But first, enjoy our special. Again, it's Muhammad Ali, A Day with Clay, reported by Cawood Ledford.
Frazier will be in trouble at the sound of the bell. Then I'm going to jump out and finish Howard Cosell.
Is the feud real between you and Cosell?
Well, we're pretty good buddies, but we don't get along so much.
Have you got a poem for us for this fight?
Well, they call Joe Frazier Smoking Joe, because they always talk about he's going to come out smoking. And they ask me what's going to happen if I meet Smokey Joe. And I wrote a little short poem, and it goes like this. Joe's gonna come out smoking, and I ain't gonna be joking. I'll be pecking and a-poking, pouring water on his smoking. This might shock and amaze you, but I will retire Joe Frazier.
Muhammad, congratulations.
Thank you. And Cawood, I like your show, and I like your style, but your pay is so cheap, I won't be back for a while.
The fighters are arriving at Miami's 5th Street Gym, but 100 fans maybe have gathered to see just one, Muhammad Ali. Never defeated as a pro, his heavyweight championship was stripped for his refusal to be inducted into the Army. Now, after several years in exile, away from the ring, he is on the threshold of fighting for the title again. Here he comes, is the murmur of the crowd inside the gym, as the former Louisvillian prepares to meet the recognized heavyweight champion, Joe Frazier, this Monday night in Madison Square Garden. It will be the first time he has been the underdog since he captured the title. As I watched the man, bigger and stronger looking than he was when he was banished, I remembered the young man who came home a champion 11 years ago. The skyrocket rise of young Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. began with a gold medal. This plane was the final leg of a flight from Rome. Cassius had won amateur sports' highest honor, an Olympic gold medal. And home was the conquering hero. Bruce Hoblitzel, our mayor in 1960, spoke all our feelings that day.
Clay, I want to thank you for what you've brought back to America.
Thank you.
What you've brought back to Louisville, your family, and yourself.
Thank you, man.
You know, you're a credit to the fighting profession, and you're going to be a fine guy. You've conducted yourself as well out of the ring as you have in the ring.
Thank you.
And we're for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
A hero's welcome for Louisville boy made good. Crowds were everywhere that Cassius went. He appeared before the legislature, and Governor Burt Combs commissions Cassius a Kentucky colonel. He had been the model All-American boy at the Olympic camp in Rome. He had refused to criticize his country to Iron Curtain reporters, and he had won the big prize. Clay's introduction to boxing fans came when he was 12 years old in a meeting with police officer Joe Martin.
He came down to tell me the story about someone had stolen his bike, and he was very upset about it and wanted to find out who it was so he could whip him. And so in the talking, I asked him, I said, do you know how to fight? He said, well, no, I've never fought, but he said, this is one time I would. So after a long talk, I finally got him to quit his crying and told him that I would turn it into the police department and that if he really wanted to fight, he should come down and be taught properly. So it wasn't but a night or two after that that he did start training, and he was very conscientious trainer and came very regularly. And of course, people knows the past history. He won the National Golden Gloves a couple of times, the National AAU and the Olympics, and was very successful at it. He was a great amateur fighter.
But his days as an amateur fighter were over. The Louisville Sponsors Group, made up of 11 prominent businessmen, signed Clay to his first professional contract. The group set up a trust fund, obtained the best boxing advisors available, and put Clay on a salary. His first paycheck came when he signed, and almost the first purchase, a car, an expensive car. The young fighter was to spend much of his time traveling and learning his trade. Cassius Clay had a promising future. He was a delightful young man. His travels already were to carry him far. But Louisville and home were very much in his thoughts and his travels. Right from the outset, the loquacious Cassius was a hit. The Louisville Lip, they called him. Mrs. Odessa Clay was to see her son only occasionally as he trained in Miami Beach and traveled across the world to make his mark with his fists and with his mouth. The names of his early opponents matter little, really. They were the pawns, the steps in the fistic ladder that were to carry him quickly into boxing's limelight. The critics abhorred his style. He fought with his hands too low, they said. But his speed and quickness meant victories, and his unceasing war of words meant box office, the sweetest words of all to the promoters. One by one, the contenders ahead of him fell by the wayside, and it was not surprising when Bill Faversham, speaking for the sponsoring group, announced that Clay would fight for the heavyweight championship of the world.
You know Jack Nylon, Sonny Liston's advisor.
Yes.
Well, Jack and I have just come to terms. Cassius has been here with us, and we've agreed on a fight with Liston.
Clay's brash predictions, many of them astonishingly accurate, boomeranged when Doug Jones went the distance. He was kidded about it at the Liston signing.
Hey, Cassius, what about the Doug Jones decision? Oh, they said I missed my prediction, but they're wrong. Just because the fight was 10 rounds, they said I missed my prediction. First I said Jones in 6, then I said Jones in 4. 6 and 4 is what? I'm tired anyway. I don't have a thought. Please, I have a business.
No, we have not heard from Detroit as of now.
The fight will not go be built. This will be the biggest contest in the century. And if you like to lose your money, be a fool and bet on Sunday.
Liston had twice sent Floyd Patterson to the canvas. His knockouts had been so devastating, Clay was regarded lightly. 7-1, Liston will win, said the experts. Clay had beaten only nobodies and has-beens, they said. Cassius was relentless in his war of words, even drew the surly Liston into verbal conflict.
I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
You might be young and handsome, but you won't be after I finish with you.
If you like to lose your money, be a fool and bet on Sunday.
I'm pretty sure people's not a fool to bet on you. They have to be a fool and bet on me.
You're 40 years old if a day, and you don't belong in the ring with Cassius Clay.
No, I shouldn't, because it'd be a disgrace to see let the people see me kill you like I am.
The odds should be 3.5 to 1 that you won't show up for the fight.
The odds should be 10-0 that you don't last for the first round.
But Clay did show up for the first round, and the second and the third. He wanted to quit then. A substance on Liston had rubbed off and Clay's eyes were burning. He ordered his trainer, Angelo Dundee, to cut off the gloves, but Dundee pushed him out for round 4 with the admonition, "We've come too far to quit." 3 rounds later, Liston's corner threw in the towel, and Cassius Clay was the heavyweight champion of the world. Cassius Marcellus Clay, the world's heavyweight champion. He was to discard the Louisville sponsoring group, his religion, and even his name. He was Muhammad Ali now, had embraced the Muslim faith, and had rejected military service on the grounds he was a minister.
Well, I am a minister of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I have been for the past good 2 years. And my lawyer, Mr. Hayden Covington, noticed it, and it is a fact that I am. And he's got all type of proof and witnesses that will bear witness, plus my leader who's ordained himself, but it never was really publicized. And he see fit to make it known.
Muhammad Ali was found guilty of refusing to serve in the Army, and he has carried his legal appeal all the way to the Supreme Court now. For 4 years, he was denied the boxing arenas of the world. Oh, he had a bout scheduled from time to time, but in the end, they were all called off. Atlanta gave Clay his first fight, and he won. Ali has always attracted the fans. At $1 a head, they flock into the small 5th Street gym in Miami Beach to watch him train. They say the man has become quieter, but I didn't see that side of him as we visited his training camp recently. He introduced his mother to the fans, said she's really the greatest. Monday, we'll find out if Cassius Clay still has that great talent. Sports Illustrated calls Drew Brown the Svengali of the ring. To Muhammad and almost everyone else, he's Bodini. When he joined Ali before the first Liston fight, he coined their battle cry, "Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee." Bodini is Ali's constant companion. Self-proclaimed assistant trainer, he's more a confidant, a friend. He bolsters the spirits of the fighter, and he is a master at it. Bodini has traveled the world. He is intelligent, he has been around fight camps a long time, and he speaks in prophecies.
Why? Well, I can't see that Frazier can win. Most of all, champions are born. They're not made in the gym. If they were, it would be like a loaf of bread in a baker's shop. You turn them out every day. This man is the fastest heavyweight was ever born. He was born to do what he's doing. And after the fight game is over, he's going to show you what he really is. He's a prophet because he loves old people, young kids and babies. And anyone that loves underdogs is really a true man. And I can't see that Frazier can beat him because Frazier is fighting for money and for a belt that you can't even pawn in the pawn shop. And this man is fighting for a lot of people, all kinds of people all over the world. They're going to England, 80,000 strong, 4:30 in the morning to see him. And with spirit and character, I can't see where Frazier can beat him at all. Strength doesn't do anything. So the only thing I can say is if you want to see the Holy Ghost really come about, be there March the 8th in the garden where it should be at the Bible of the Ring, and you'll see the true champion.
The only man that was with the young Cassius that is still around is his trainer, Angelo Dundee. Angie is the only white man left in the entourage of Muhammad. Dundee was hired by the old Louisville sponsoring group, and he's the only one that the former champ has retained. The little guy is a popular figure with the press. He is polite and talkative. Angie is a former fighter himself, and he has managed and trained several champions. Ali is his best.
Angie, how do you see this fight with Frazier?
I make it a very tough fight, Kaywood. Figures to be, because you got, two contrasting styles. I make Frazier a real good fighter. I make it the survival of the fittest, the guy with the most ability. And I feel that this kid has all the ability in the world and has more ability than Frazier.
And will win, you feel?
Oh, definitely win. Never go into a fight thinking you're going to lose. That'd be the wrong attitude. I just know one thing, that he's better looking than the other guy. He's a better boxer than the other guy. And another thing, he sings better. So he's got all the attributes of this guy. He's better than the other guy, so period. And to me, this is cropping up to me like another Liston fight. To making him like the rough, tough destroyer of men. And this guy don't have a chance. He's an 8-5 underdog for a change, which I love. I like him to be the underdog because it gets monotonous being a favorite all the time.
Dundee said this is the first time he has worked without a headgear as we watch Muhammad Ali go through several rounds in the ring against 4 different sparring partners. He has trained hard for this coming fight. Both he and Dundee admit it is the most important fight in Clay's fistic career. He purposely absorbed blows to the body during this work. Some say he's not as sharp as he was before he went into a 4-year exile. At 29 now, he is bigger and more muscular. He seems to me to have lost none of his speed and quickness. Muhammad invited me to join him in the dressing room before he trained. He told me he was flying to Philadelphia that night to give his parents his home there. He was buying a new one in New Jersey. But on camera, he declined to discuss that. He wanted to discuss Joe Frazier instead. Here was his press conference.
He can't predict no rounds, and he can't talk, and he can't sing. He's got 10 strikes against him already.
He can play guitar.
And if that slow, flat-footed slugger whoops me, I will get out of the game. Never rank a slugger against a master boxer. Never rank a slugger against a master boxer. He's a good slugger, and I'm a good, tall, fast, rangy master boxer. And in the long run, I'm going to come out on top.
I'm beautiful.
I will hit him 7 times to his 1 miss. Every time he miss, I will hit him 7 times.
7 times. Very good.
And every time he land, I will hit him 20 times. I'm heavier than Joe Frazier. I'm taller than Joe Frazier. My reach is longer than Joe Frazier. I hit harder than Joe Frazier and more regular. So what reason do you give Frazier? The press has brainwashed you. Many of my opponents, they've made him look bad. They made Bonavina look like a bull, but he was little, he was weak, he was short. I pushed him around the ring.
Are you the king?
I'm the champion. The real champion, not the homemade champion, not the elimination champion, not the Alton champion, but the real champion.
Muhammad, how about this fight now with Jimmy Ellis, the exhibition?
I'm trying to get a 10-round serious fight with James Ellis. I wanted exhibition with him, but I think he thinks he's a little too highly ranked for that. I want Ellis in a good 10-round fight. I want to clean up the whole thing. I got a lot of making up for do for these 3.5 years I've been off. I done already gave Oscar Bonavina and Jerry Quarry a chance in a few months' time, the 2 top contenders with no return clauses, everything to lose, nothing to gain, showing you I'm a real fighting champion. Right now, tomorrow, it looks like I'm ready to meet Joe Frazier. There are 3 top fights after 3.5-year layoff. And before Joe Frazier, I want to get James Ellis out of the way. And James Ellis is up here now. What did you say?
I want
you want me?
I want you.
Well, you will get me. You and Joe Frazier ran around with my title for the past 3 years.
Don't say no return clause.
No return clause will be in it. You'll get your shot. I'm trying to get you before I get Joe Frazier. I'm gonna straighten out all this. I'm gonna straighten out all this heavyweight mess. I'm sick and tired of all this talk about all these champions. Never in the history of boxing have they had 3 world heavyweight champions. I'm gonna straighten out all this mess and let them know. Defeating Sonny Liston twice didn't satisfy him. They gave it to Ernie Terrell. I had to take my title back from him without losing it. Now they done gave it to Joe Frazier. I'm the only heavyweight champion in the history of the world who continually fight for his title in the ring, but don't lose it in the ring. And I'm gonna straighten out all this mess, and after I put Joe Frazier down, I'm gonna tell the whole commissioners in the whole world that never take my title again, regardless of what I say or believe or do, until you whoop me in the ring, because I keep winning it over and over in the ring, and I want a proclamation, something made, saying that that's against the law to touch my title when I come back and whoop Joe Frazier, because taking my title, fighting for it 4 times is enough, and never getting beat.
What's it do to you when the so-called experts say that he's going to beat you? Most of them are saying he's going to whip you.
So-called experts are old men, out of shape, can't walk 2 blocks without having a heart attack. What do they know about fighting and what I can do? I'm the expert when it comes to Muhammad Ali. I'm the prophet. I'm the one who predicts on me. Don't listen to nobody but me. Forget the experts. Listen to me.
How about this guy, Jerry Ferencio, who's supposed to be handling all this $250,000 he just supposed to get? He said that you want to fight $2.5 million, right? He said that fighting Jimmy Ellis was strange. He called you strange.
Well, I don't know. I'm a strange person, but I want to get Ellis out of the way real quick. I want to get Ellis out of the way, and I want Joe Frazier. I try to train with Ellis in here, but they won't let me in the ring with him.
I know you worked 8 rounds today against 4 different sparring partners. Why won't they let you spar against Jim?
I don't know. James want to get in with me, but Angelo say if you get in, fight. Say, Alex, we're bumping over here on slide. He's sneaking over here now. I'm trying to get in the news.
He was trying to kick you in the back there?
Well, I know one thing. They won't let me in the ring with him, and if I get in the ring with him, I'm going to show him. I wanted to go down in boxing history that I came back and whipped both of these so-called champions easy.
The same time, at the same time.
Same time.
Same time.
Muhammad, how about your sparring sessions now? You worked with 4 guys today. How's your training coming along as far as you think?
Training is perfect. I have to slow up. I wanted to work 15 rounds today. They wouldn't let me work 15 rounds today. I'm ready, and I have to go now. Tell all the fans in Miami and back in Louisville, Kentucky, that I'm going to show them all who the real champion of the world is. I'm going to straighten this whole mess out. I've had enough. I'm tired. I've had enough.
In the world.
I'm champion. I'm champion.
Louisville's Jimmy Ellis trains in the same ring, but not at the same time. He formerly was Clay's sparring partner, struck out on his own to win the World Boxing Association's heavyweight championship. He lost that to the man Muhammad Ali fights Monday, Joe Frazier. Ellis split a pair of fights with Ali when they were amateurs here in Louisville. He knows Ali well, and he has lost to Frazier.
You know both fighters. How do you see the fight between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier?
Well, I look for it to be one of the greatest fights of all time. You got a slugger going against a puncher. But I got to lean towards Muhammad Ali as a winner because of his boxing ability. He got the height, he got the reach, and I think it's a lot faster. So I'm looking for a real great fight. On the other hand, if Muhammad fights the fight against the same fight he fought against Bonavina, I look for Frazier to take him out. But I know this guy has got the ability to box, stay away, and then use his advantage for his strong punches. So I got to favor Muhammad Ali, maybe in 7 or 8 rounds.
Would you like to fight Muhammad again?
Well, I would love to fight him. You know, we fought in the amateurs twice, and we split it. And I would love to fight him as a pro. Everybody say that he can't be beat, but I know otherwise. I know the guy like a book. I think he can psych the other guys out, which he couldn't psych me out. He could say what he wanted to and talk all he wanted to, but I think I would come out successful.
You would expect those around Clay to predict their man will win over Joe Frazier. The experts don't see it that way, and Muhammad Ali will likely be the underdog when they face off Monday in the squared circle at Madison Square Garden. This reporter picks Muhammad Ali to win. Frazier has never faced this kind of speed, and the boxing public may never see it again.
Muhammad, you've been telling the fans here about the Frazier match. Let's talk a little bit to the fans in Louisville. What about this fight with Frazier?
The fight with myself and Joe Frazier, I say here on the cameras, never been wrong, will be no contest in my favor. A total mismatch, and I predict that the boxing authorities, the experts, and all of the Joe Frazier fans, and mainly the fight fans in general, will be angry at the press for misleading them so into thinking that Joe Frazier could whoop me when Joe Frazier won't even stand a chance.
Why do you favor yourself?
And if Joe Frazier beats me, I want to say here on the cameras for everybody in Louisville, anywhere you send it, if Joe Frazier whoops me, Muhammad Ali, I'm going to get on my hands, on my knees in the ring in Madison Square Garden, crawl across the ring, look up to Joe Frazier before 1 billion people in 50 countries on 4 satellites and say, you are the greatest. You are the real champion of the world, and I'm sorry for talking about you so bad. Then get back on my hands, on my knees, and crawl all the way across the ring before the whole crowd and walk out. That's what I will do if Joe Frazier whoops me.
You feel confident? Why?
Do I feel confident saying this and putting it out on there?
I say why?
Because it is I saw him fight Ellis, I saw him fight Bobby Foster, I saw him fight Quarry and Bonavino. All of them whipped him for the first 2 or 3 rounds. They hit him whenever they wanted. He's easy to hit, but they just were not quality fighters and they couldn't keep it up. Bonavino beat him to his face to a pulp. Frazier's both eyes were closed. He fainted from exhaustion in the dressing room. He was about to collapse in the 15th round. I beat Bonavino going away. Looking bad, as they say, won 13 rounds easy, knocked him out until the condition where he can't fight no more for a while, and then came out without a scratch. Jerry Quarry won 7 rounds with Joe Frazier, hit him in the face 46 times in the first 3 rounds. In 3 rounds with me, Jerry Quarry didn't land 1 punch. That's what I look at. And Butler Malthus whooped him for 7 rounds, 270-pounder, whooped him for 7 rounds until he got too tired. Frazier tires his men out. They're light heavyweights like Bobby Foster, 188 pounds, a fella too light for me to spar with, 188. and knocked him out. Now he's so great, and people are coming to me, are you ready for Joe Frazier? I say, don't rank me with Ellis, don't rank me with Foster, don't rank me with Bonavina and Quarry. I was off 4 years, had a 6-week notice, and whooped him easier and quicker than Joe Frazier. Now I'm ready for Joe Frazier. I'm trim, I've been tuned up. I'm gonna whoop Joe Frazier for 15 rounds if I don't knock him out, backing up.
Muhammad, how would you compare yourself now to 4 years ago when you had
4 years ago, I hit much harder. I'm much stronger. I'm bigger. I'll come in for this fight weighing about 218, where I'm usually 210. I'll be stronger. I'm hitting much harder. I'm 29. I'm not old. I'm not that young. I'm just right. And I work 8 rounds in here now, just playing. Yesterday I worked 10. Day before I worked 12. I understand Frazier don't go with 3 and 4 rounds a day. But I'll just say this. I'm glad I got my license now. I'm glad the people from Ring Magazine, all the boxing authorities, all the big mouth can shut up now, because when I meet Joe Frazier in Madison Square Garden, I'm going to add 2 more pages to the boxing book, then I'm going to seal it and close it. I'm the 2-time United States Golden Glove champion, 2-time national AAU champion, World Olympic gold medal winner. After I defeated Zoa Foley, that was my 10th world title fight, not elimination title, real title fights, the 10th one. Here comes Joe Frazier. When I beat Sonny Liston in '64, Frazier was a kid getting out of the Olympics. I'm surprised that the public and the boxing people have amnesia. They've seen the forgotten. Well, I'm going to remind them March the 8th.
So, Joe, picking up again, you discovered this Courier-Journal advertisement for the special. It was at 8:30. That meant it was really going to run just 30 minutes because they were going to join another program at 9.
Right. And of course, like I said, it was Mission Impossible. We were a CBS affiliate back then, so that's what we showed. Peter Graves. I think it was great programming. Now, this is March 6th, just 2 days before the big Saturday fight at Madison Square Garden. And of course, the spoiler alert is he did lose to Joe Frazier.
Do you know, was the fight shown on WHAS 11?
No, it wasn't.
The thing about Cawood Ledford, Muhammad Ali had a great relationship with him. In fact, the champ would just come into town, and this was before social media, and he'd want to check in with the Channel 11 and the Courier-Journal to give us an update on how he was doing in his career as he was traveling around the world. And he'd walk right into this building, and they'd go into a radio studio, and he'd sit down, or he'd meet Cawood right there in the back lot, and they'd pull a camera out of one of the news cars and record an interview with him.
Or go to the gym. You just saw him there in the gym when he was working out, trying to get ready for the fight. And I loved it. He also saw, I mean, this is the best kind of special because it has everything you'd ever want to see. You hear about his history. He talks about, you can see his mother, Odessa, was also in this special. And of course, you get to see him with his trainer. He was the one, I mean, I love the laughs whenever he was a poet on the fly, and he would come up with these rhymes, and you would hear people laughing, clapping for him because he was so good at it. And of course, Cawood, it was hard for him to keep a straight face because he loved it. He loved his wit.
Well, Cawood was such a good reporter because when Ken Burns, the documentarian, came to Louisville to produce his big documentary on the life of Muhammad Ali, which was so successful, his team spent many, many months in our basement for our original film.
His associate producer.
They also came across film we didn't really know we'd had. It was tucked in a newsreel with other news stories of that day, and it showed a very skinny Cassius Clay at 14 years old. He was just turning 15, so he could sign up. He was signing up for the boxing matches, to the
Golden
weigh-ins.
Gloves competition.
The Golden Gloves competitions. We had it. It was still on the original film, And then Ken Burns took it and developed it and put it out there for the world to see, and then returned it to us in a digital format.
And he even said he believes that you're seeing it right now, actually. This is what's known to be the oldest footage of Muhammad Ali, then a young Cassius Clay, a teenager, Cassius Clay at the time. And you also saw in this special Officer Joe Martin. He had just gotten his bicycle stolen, remember? And he said he wanted to whip him. Whoever took him, he would whip him. And then Officer Joe says, you need to come back and train right. And then that's how his whole career started, just because of that stolen bicycle.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this half-hour special, again, from the archives of WHAS TV 11. We thank Joe Federle for finding it. I'm Doug Proffitt. Thank you for joining us for this special presentation on WHAS 11+.